Hi, my name is Suzanne Atkinson, and I'm an author. Today I've decided to read a little bit for you from the second book in the Cozy Mystery series, Stella Kirk Mysteries. It's called Didn't Stand a Chance. A couple of things about this book. As a cozy mystery, it follows the particular genre. There's also recurring characters, so you will meet people in this book that you met in book one. So I'll start by reading the back, and then I'm going to read you a couple of quotes and then a couple of excerpts from the beginning. The assumed accidental death of a young bride leads Detective Aidan North and Stella Kirk, the owner of Shell Cliffs RV Park, into an investigation fraught with sibling secrets, revealing choices, and unforgivable misunderstandings. Which family member holds the ultimate power of influence? Will Lucy Painter's murder be confirmed? Will the perpetrator be exposed? Will family ties be unbreakable to the end? Didn't Stand a Chance, a Stella Kirk Mystery number 2, illustrates how perceived sacrifice and devotion can be twisted into horrible results for the family. We'll start with the quotes. If you've listened to me before, you know I like to start a book with a couple of quotes which are clues to the mystery. No one has the patent on you. Katie St. Clair said this. I will not delete pieces of me to please you. Brianna Dawn said that. So we'll start at chapter 1, and then we're going to skip and do a little bit of chapter 4. November 18th, 1980, Shale Cliffs RV Park. His father called today, 9 days early for American Thanksgiving. Odd. He suggested Nick travel to Florida for a visit after Christmas. Apparently, Tobias Cochran has some financial scheme brewing and wants Nick to invest the money he inherited from his aunt. If he goes, will he come back? Will he need me to return the money he used to buy into the park this year? What the hell is he thinking? Toenails dig into Stella's thigh, interrupting her spin into the familiar abyss of negativity. A wet nose, partially obscured by a red turtleneck, pokes out from under the Hudson's Bay blanket, providing extra protection from the chill. Stella and Nick sip wine in front of the fire. Kiki attempts to snuggle in further than her present position permits. Why are we harboring the mud again? She can't prevent an element of indulgence from creeping into her attempt at a stern tone. I still haven't decided if I'm happy you volunteered to dog sit. Nick chuckles while he gives Kiki an ear rub. She loves you, Stella. Of course, walks in the frigid weather, kibble scattered from one end of the kitchen to the other. She expects to sleep in our bed, and she doesn't always smell so great. You're a good girl, he croons. Auntie Stella didn't mean it. He turns his attention to Stella. Duke's mother should be discharged in a few days. Stella's aware Duke wasn't permitted to take his dog to Mrs. Powell's unit at the care home in the northern part of the province. He was staying there while he visited her in hospital. He was in a real bind, so they relented. She's teasing, of course, but Nick's expression is as mournful as Kiki's. Stella squints at their charge. Kiki's eyes are closed while Nick rubs her ear. Alice is her favorite person, but beggars can't be choosers, eh, Kiki? She touches the fluffiness of the Pomeranian's small head and resists the urge to coo. Nick peeks at his watch. Supper will be ready in 10 minutes. Cooking is another one of your assets. She can't stop the blush from flooding her cheeks. His list of positive qualities always serves to make her feel less than adequate. Involvement of his family undermines her sense of security. Now the next scene takes place at the Painter farm. You haven't met the Painter family before, so this is where you're introduced to them in the story. Back in a few, off for a walk over to the house, need a breath of fresh air. What? Opal emerges from the kitchen. She wipes her hands with a stained dish towel. Her expression of disbelief is easy for Lucy to interpret. Cavell will be home soon. Lucy ignores her sister-in-law. She slams her tiny feet into a pair of rubber boots that must be 3 sizes too big. Then she relents. I'll only be gone a few minutes. I want to see the progress on the basement walls. Hester, dressed in a long wool skirt soiled with dirt and whatever she last ate, shuffles up to the back porch entry and peeks out from behind her more imposing sister. "Come too?" Lucy turns around and faces the hauntingly beautiful woman who has made the timid request. Opal intercedes. "No, Hester. The air has a chill. You can't go." Her arm becomes a railroad crossing gate in front of Hester. "Next time, I promise." Lucy wraps Jacob's barn coat around her small frame. The oily, textured fabric hangs to her ankles and smells like cow shit, an homage to the days when the painters kept animals. She hauls her long blonde curls out from under the corduroy collar. "Take a flashlight, Lucy. The ground is rough." A familiar prickly sensation tickles her hairline. Lucy's uncontrollable response to Opal's abrupt and authoritative tone. She opens the storm door and picks her way down the stairs. Despite her resolve and recently developed stubborn streak, she knows Opal was right. She stumbles across the frozen stubble where the machinery has torn up the topsoil. Her feet slide around in the heavy boots. A pale amber glow cast by a floor lamp near the dining room bow window is her single light source. She stops to adjust her boots and turn back towards the noble American four-square farmhouse built by Jacob's father, who passed away 8 years ago. The imposing home was finished in 1933 when Leon and Velma Painter were married. Velma died a few days after she gave birth to her fourth child and only son, Jacob, in 1951. The house is too big and boorish. Jacob says our home should be my style, cute and petite. He's right. I want to be out from under his sisters. The sooner the better. I need to sit down. She turns toward her destination and wobbles her way to the basement of their 3-bedroom bungalow. In the gloom, the cement walls blend with the frozen earth. Once she can clearly make out the shadows of new concrete, she relaxes. The plywood forms used to hold the cement in place while it cured have been removed. When the backfilling is complete, the front entry will be level with the ground. She wants her house to have a flat entrance with no more than a threshold. The family house has too damn many stairs. You can't grow old in a home with lots of stairs. Clutching Jacob's heavy, smelly coat around her, she ponders her husband of not quite 3 months. For 2 nights in a row, he's been out to meetings. Farmers and cattle ranchers, they get together at the fire hall for a supper put on by the Ladies' Auxiliary, while they discuss feed prices, fertilizer, and animal auctions. She wants him home. The source of her anxiety mystifies her, but she needs his support. Lucy sits on the frigid concrete basement wall. The icy hardness bleeds through Jacob's heavy coat. She steadies herself with one hand on the rough stone surface. Damp wind off the water whips her long hair around her flushed face. Her feet are ice cubes floating inside the cavernous rubber boots dangling over the wall and into the empty hole 8 feet below. Nonetheless, she's thankful to be away from Opal's watchful eyes. Discomfort clouds her focus. The cement is cured despite the cold, so the framers should be out to the property any day. Lucy knows she doesn't have an abundance of patience, and if it begins to snow, construction is sure to stop until spring. She didn't go to work today because she was sick when she woke up. She's better by the afternoon, so she called her boss to pick up a shift, but it was too late. All the at-home care clients who required help from a practical nurse were scheduled with other staff. Now she's as sick as she felt this morning. What is wrong with me? Do I have the flu? I'm so dizzy and nauseous. Supper was good. I was fine an hour ago. Despite her silent criticisms of Opal's rigidity and overbearing attitude, Lucy acknowledges her oldest sister-in-law is a great cook. Since she married Jacob and moved out to the Painter farm, challenges have been frequent, but food has not been one of them. Ouch! God in heaven, what is the matter with me? Lucy holds her side and winces. Once the pain eases, I'll go back to the house and rest. She balances on her cement perch. She shuts her eyes and hopes the dizziness subsides enough for her to return across the yard without toppling over. Now I'm just going to read you a little bit. I'm going to jump ahead to chapter 4 and just read you a little bit of chapter 4. Are you okay? Stella wraps her arms around Hester, who looks lost and startled. Stella is reminded of a trapped and scared rabbit she once found under the veranda. Lucy's gone. She fell in the hole and died. I know. I am sorry. May I come visit you one day soon? Hester bobs her head. Eve too. Eve is nice to me. Eve might be in school, but I'll drive out to the farm in a week or two. Before she moves along the line, Stella catches herself patting the trembling woman much as she would a stray kitten. The final greeting is to Leon Painter's aging sister. Hi, Del, we are so sorry for your loss. Long day for you. Is Eve sticking close by? Yes and yes. She disappeared in search of a chair for me. The familiar black Breton hat quivers when she talks. May I take your coat for you and hang it up? I imagine it's more people crowding to see the family. The reception room will get warm. No, I'm always freezing. Poor circulation. The doctor says my ticker isn't in the best shape. Stella glances behind as the remainder of the attendees file in. Well, I've held up the line long enough. Del clutches her sleeve. Please come speak to me later once this mess, she flutters a trembling hand at the funeral attendees shuffling behind Stella, is over. Of course, Nick and I'll stick around for a while. You send Eve to find me when you're ready. Too many people, Del mutters as Eve wiggles through the throng, clutching a chair for her grandmother. So there, that gives you an idea of Lucy Painter and what happened to her. So the rest has to be absorbed later. The books are all available. I didn't have a chance to launch, didn't stand a chance. The title is apropos for the fact that we haven't stood a chance of much of anything lately. In any event, all my books are available across all platforms, from Kobo to iTunes to Amazon. You can get an ebook or you can get a paperback book. Also, if you private message me on my author Facebook page, I'm happy to send you a signed copy and we can work something out for that. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time today. If you have any comments, don't hesitate. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.